Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilbourn and I'm here to announce we have some more big wrestler interviews coming your way. Recently, I've had the chance to chat to the likes of Al Snow, the Hurricane, Vicky Guerrero, Joey Ryan, and the legend that is DDP. We're going to be releasing some of the best bits of those interviews over the coming weeks, and we've got plenty more to come in the future too, including some current WWE stars. So make sure you subscribe, let us know in the comments section who you'd like to see interviewed, and follow us on Twitter to be able to send questions. For now though, here's an exclusive clip of my interview with Jeff Jarrett, the full version of which will be released soon, all about him going into WWE's Hall of Fame. Enjoy. So congratulations, going into the Hall of Fame. How does that feel?
Oh, wow. I might sound like a broken record if you heard this, but Adam, it's the truth. It's such a simple answer, this side of it, in that it's surreal. It's still very, very surreal. I was shocked when I got the call. I was surprised. I was very humbled as well. It's still the publicity, the PR, and the digital side of things, and social media. I'm quite frankly blown away by the response, and again very grateful for this opportunity. But it was certainly a shocker to me.
So tell us, how did it all come about?
I got a call in early January, and that conversation is going to go down in my mind as one of the most, I'll just call it, unique conversations I've ever had, at least for the first couple of minutes. It was a Sunday morning, and I got a text, real just concise text. Hey, you got a minute to chat? And Karen was getting ready for church, and the kids were getting ready for church here in the house, and I was already ready. And I'm like, sure. And I walked up to my office, and we had a conversation, and right as I was asked, and I guess it's a formal ask, and I had to sit there with a long pause and go, now, is this a yes or no answer? Is it like a maybe, or my people get back with your people? But it was a phone call from a high-ranking WWE official. I'm still not real sure to this day if I'm supposed to let that name out, so I'm choosing not to. But no, it was a phone call, and all I can say is, again, to go back on it, just very surprising and very humbling.
Subsequently finding out that it was, Triple H who was really pushing for you to go in, that must be an amazing thing to find out as well.
Well, I'm just like you. I've read that. I don't have any firsthand knowledge of that whatsoever. But if that is the case, very grateful to him. And when you look over the last, I don't know how far back, several years, Bruno and Ultimate Warrior, and there was a couple of situations where you go, oh wow, okay, that was a little bit of a surprise. I applaud it. It's a situation just like in the WWE that I learned many years ago. 1993 was the first time that I actually heard it straight out of the so to speak, the situation that if it's good for business, then we'll get it done. So I'm happy. I can't say enough how thankful and happy and for a guy who never thought my first goal in wrestling was just to have a great match, and now almost it'll be 32 years to the day later. I'm stepping into the Hall of Fame, so very grateful.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you ever think something like this was going to happen? I mean, I think it's fair to say you've had a checkered history with the WWE.
No, I mean, I can't say at all that I think this would happen. Quite frankly, zero chance. It's been well documented. Not that there is a tremendous amount of animosity that I'm aware of on their side, certainly none on my side, but we went our separate ways. And I'm a third generation promoter. And so back in 2001, we obviously went our separate ways, and I set out and carried on the family tradition and continued to promote wrestling. It's a surreal moment, and I didn't expect it, but very, very happy that I'm headed to New Orleans this year. And Adam, I was telling this story yesterday. I don't believe, and I certainly, don't have the recollection, but I've never been to a wrestling show that I didn't have a task, that I couldn't go just to enjoy the show. And in New Orleans, that's exactly what I could do. Other than maybe put on a suit, walk out, and wave, which I don't think I have to do too much preparation for that. But I get to go enjoy it like a fan. And I was a fan long before I was a wrestler and promoter. And so I'm really looking forward to that. And obviously with AJ, the champion, and Bobby Roode, the U.S. champion, and the night it is, I'm very excited to get the opportunity to be live at WrestleMania and watch the show.
Yeah, how's that been, getting messages from, your peers, and then obviously guys like you mentioned there who you've worked with in the past, guys whose careers you've elevated and you've seen them to go on such great things. How's that been for you, getting those wonderful messages of support and congratulations?
I hate to use the word again. I definitely understand like a broken, humbling, without question. It's gratifying, but it's very humbling. And as a promoter, I am well aware, as much or more than anybody, it all depends on the talent. Talent always rises to the top. It is always the deciding factor. I've said it a lot of years. Talent gets you to the top, and attitude keeps you there. And so I couldn't be happy for the success that AJ and Bobby Roode and Samoa Joe and Eric Young, and I could go on and on. But very happy for those guys, but they are all individually super talents. And I couldn't be happy for them to be on this stage.
Now, not to get too far ahead of ourselves, but I know you've mentioned yourself on social media how great it is seeing those wonderful video packages of yourself when you were in the WWF, as it was. Could this potentially lead to a return to the WWE, whether that be in-ring or not? If something like that came along, would that interest you?
I mean, I can say without question, the only communications that I've had with the folks at WWE is in direct relation to the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame access, travel, ring size, that kind of stuff. It's all been, so I can't say that that's, even a discussion at this point. So I'm excited about the Hall of Fame, and that's exactly where the conversations have been.
And what do you make of the storylines and the stuff they're doing heading into WrestleMania? Obviously, you mentioned the guys like Bobby Roode, United States champion. You've got WWE champion AJ Styles. What do you make of the direction that WWE are heading in going towards WrestleMania?
WWE does a lot of things very, very good, but roll around WrestleMania season, and it's by design. They hit on all cylinders, and there is so much speculation, and the anticipation is there. The massive Big Show appeal is there. I mean, Ronda Rousey, certainly the biggest female box office attraction MMA's ever seen, and arguably right up there at the top with all of them in the history. And she's right in the middle of it. It's pop culture again. And when you think about professional wrestling, John Cena is mainstream. He here in the States, he does the Today Show, quite frankly, a lot. And that's just one of the Miz, another fantastic talent. I could go down and down and down the list. And you look at the Hall of Fame, a guy like Bill Goldberg, at one time the hottest box office attraction in the business. He was on top when WCW was on top, and then you look at the Dudleys and their historic run, and you look at their body of work, and it's second to none in tag team wrestling. Ivory, for a female like her that was around on the original series of Glow, and we all know the success of that. And then I got to tip my cap. I mean, the biggest fighter of all that's going to show up WrestleMania weekend, without question. And it's not AJ Styles and it's not Bobby Roode, but it's Jarius, who's going to get the Warrior Award. I mean, the story of that young man is just awe-inspiring. It's really, really, and if you haven't seen the story, please go to the WWE Network and watch it. It's so inspiring. That young man is something special.
It's a truly incredible story. That you've obviously said earlier about the fact that you're keeping fairly tight-lipped about what the future is for you. But let's fantasy book for a second. If you could enter a feud or just have one match with any WWE superstar right now, who would that be and why?
I don't do fantasy booking. I'll leave that up to the fan base to do that kind of stuff because it's so subjective. I could come up with multiple ideas over and over and over. But at the end of the day, my future is definitely, long-term future would not be in the ring. But there's so much talent out there right now. It's incredible. When I look at not just Raw and not just SmackDown, but NXT and 205 Live, the business is in such good shape. And then there is some very, very high quality wrestling in WWE and outside WWE. And I've said that for years now.
We will leave the fantasy booking to the comment section. For me, Double J versus Elias, the Battle of the Guitars. I would love to see something like that.
Well, I've said this. I've never met Elias, but I've watched him on TV, and I will say this, that his personality comes across fantastic. It is in my opinion, without meeting him, he is playing a great extension of himself, of who he truly is. And that's the magic in this business. And so him strumming the guitar and his demeanor and his persona is to me very, very compelling. And you can get emotionally attached to that guy. So he strums the guitar, I swing a guitar, and will our paths ever cross? I will, it's out of my hands, but never say never.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe below, and if you're looking for more content like this, then try a few things that are floating about around my ears. It might be fun. I can't promise it though, but it might be.